Magic. All right. Thank you so much for inviting me to participate in this workshop. It's really wonderful. So I'll be talking about some of the initiatives for outreach for JWST that we've been doing in Canada and also beyond. Canada is a little bit of a different partner, a smaller space agency, about 10% of the US population. And it is by far, JWST, the largest space astronomy mission that we've ever participated in. Okay, to be fair, it's the largest space astronomy mission ever, but it's by a wide margin the largest that Canada has ever been involved in. So we've had several challenges that have forced us to sort of innovate in different ways. So one of the key things that's special about Canada is that the population tends to not assume that we are participating in this kind of initiative. They tend to think first NASA or ESA is a part of this. So one of the things we really want to put forward are the people that are involved in JWST, the Canadian people at Canadian institutions, both in the development of the mission, but also the scientists that are using JWST data. So we've had several features putting forward the people of Webb. Every time we put forward a press release, we make sure to feature the astronomers at the Canadian institutions that are involved, especially when it's students, early career researchers. One fan favorite result that's been out since the start of science operations has been the Sparkler Galaxy, a really fantastic galaxy, and it was led by two postdoctoral researchers at the University of Toronto. So this is something we really endeavor to do. We also have a very, very small outreach team. So it is one of our mandates to equip all of our scientists with their own science communication training, so they can become ambassadors and feel like they're equipped to talk to the media, talk to the public as well. Sort of in a similar vein, we want to really put Canadian youth at the helm of Webb. So not only talk to them about the science that we're doing, but make them imagine that they are themselves scientists that are in charge of Webb. This is really something we want with Webb. It's really the people's telescope. And so for younger children, we had several editions of a drawing contest where we encourage students from classrooms all over Canada to submit drawings of what they would want to observe with the Webb telescope. Over the 2 years that we've done this, we've received over 1,000 submissions from classrooms in Canada and the US, but also internationally from the Ukraine, from India, from England, from Ghana. So that's been a really huge success. And we've done some of the editions in person as well. For older students, we've also developed an activity that allows them to pretend like they're asking for time on the telescope. So they would be writing mock telescope time proposals, selecting an exoplanet, having to justify why they want to observe it, what time of the year they would have to observe it, and then they would have tasks. They would discuss together and try to figure out how to rank these different proposals. So this really allows the students to imagine themselves as astronomers and hopefully later on encourage them to follow STEM careers. Maybe this is less impressive for Europeans, but Canada has 2 official languages. In Europe, I know it's common to speak like 7 languages, but this has some challenges for us. Anything that comes out of the Canadian Space Agency by legal reasons need to be in both English and French. But there's a huge dearth of French resources in astronomy and JWST. So both at the CSA and the institute where I work at the University of Montreal, we endeavor to create Canadian resources that are in French, not only in the French language, but that have the flavor of the French-Canadian culture, that put forward French-Canadian astronomers. So we've developed a suite of educational resources for students in primary and secondary school called Exoplanets in the Classroom. And it's turnkey activities that teachers can use in their classrooms. We also have created lots of videos, both in English and in French, describing different exoplanet concepts and the JWST mission. And finally, one project where we're working on with the IAU Office of Astronomy for Outreach is the translation of a suite of different Space Telescope infographics on JWST in all different kinds of languages. So what you can see here is an example of an infographic written in Arabic. So we're doing this in French, English, Spanish, Mandarin, Arabic, and we'll be expanding these different languages as we go forward. Thank you.